Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about what is inside this quad box with this Rebel sticker right on the front of it. Want to find out? Stick around. Rebel Takeover box in my hand right now, and we're going to be talking about it. So here's the deal. Yes, it is almost the middle of December-ish about now, and this is the November box. It is a little bit late, not exceptionally late, but it is late nonetheless. However, we were kept informed. I did receive an email from Quadbox kind of explaining the situation. So for your viewing pleasure, here's that email. You're welcome to read it, but essentially the gist of it is that they just had some trouble getting the parts that go in the box, and once they arrive, they'll be sending them out. So I'm pretty darn excited to see what's going on inside this box. It is a bigger box. It's about the same dimensions this way. It's just a little bit thicker. A normal quad box is maybe about like that big, so it's maybe like a half an inch or an inch thicker. So I don't know if there's something special in this box that makes it need a bigger box than their normal box. But it was intriguing nonetheless, and that's what I'm excited to check out. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of unboxing, give you my genuine thoughts and opinions on what I see as I unbox it. And then I like to do a little bit of a cost analysis to see just what is this product's worth in this box, and is it worth what you paid, and how much bonus value did you get, and all that fun stuff. But before we do any of that, slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Keeps you in the know when I post videos such as this one. Helps support the channel. It is completely free, and I really appreciate it. So please go do that now. I'll wait. Did it? Okay, cool. Then we'll proceed. All right, so come on in close. Let's do some unboxing. Rebel quad box. Let's do it. A little flipperoo. No fancy anything. We just got some packing tape holding this shut, but either way, we cut that open. Little pre-open on that flap as we always do. We flip it over. We get it in position because I can't line this stuff up. All right, there we go. We're good. We get this flap open. It's a big flap, so here we go. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. Oh, it's taped. Ah! Extra tape action I have to do. Oh, it's killing me. Screwed up my whole thing. Okay, now we're free. All right, take two. And here we go. All right, so first things off, I'm seeing a hat, but I'm not gonna go for that hat, but I love me some hats. I'm a big hat person, so that's cool, but we're gonna go for the props because that's usually a good thing to start with. So we have some HQ props. They are R42 GRPC, so it's a polycarbonate, but I don't know what the R42 is, but it's HQ racing prop, I guess what the R stands for, and 42, not sure. Gonna have to look up exactly what they are, but if you'd like to see the tag, there's your tag action. All right, so here's what the prop looks like in upon itself. It's a smoky gray color, black color, translucent, whatever you want. And actually stamped on the prop itself, it also says R42. Basically what we're looking at here, this is a 5141 prop. So we got 3 packs of those. 1, 2, 3. And then we got the hat, which says a Rebel on it, like that. Pretty snazzy. Even has Rebel on the underside of the brim. Pretty cool. Little Rebel on that back action right there. And kind of cool on the inside. Kind of like contour line action. Those are into cartography and stuff. That's what that reminds me of, at least. Pretty cool hat. I'm liking it. Cool. So we got a hat. We got the shirt. So let's see here. It's the Rebel shirt with a little mountainy action. The Rebel logo. Nice heather gray, like in the color. Anything on the back? Nope, nothing on the back. Just straight up in the front with just like a little, you know, the pocket logo. Pretty cool. We got this. What is this? This is just says rebel.com. It's going to be a LiPo. I'm seeing it saying 1350 mAh 4S. So if you want to take a look at those stats, so let's take a peek at this battery. Oh, that is so cute. I knew that they made these to like box drink style, but seeing it in person is just freaking adorable. So here, if you want to check it out, it's playing off the box drinks, those high C's. It's even got like the nutrition information and stuff, but it's really like stats about the battery, I'm sure. Yeah, it's about the battery and stuff. It's got like on the old milk cartons where it'd have like missing people and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to take a closer look at this battery pack to get an idea of what's going on with it. What else we got here? We got, looks like a little foam pad action. Oh, it's a little, that's pretty cool. I sincerely apologize for lateness of this quad box. Please accept this brand new Rotor Riot battery pad as a small thank you for your patience. We will continue to seek out the best and most unique deals we can. Chad Capper. So that's pretty cool. So it's basically they gave you a little extra bonus Rotor Riot battery pad with the little Rotor Riot logo in there. It's a little bonus action. And we got some Rebel stickers here, looks like. And there's a little contest they have going on here, which is really just more marketing stuff for Rebel, essentially taking pictures of the stuff that you got and post it to their social media, and, you know, they'll pick a winner and you get some cool stuff, whatever the case is. So that's what's going on with that. And then we also have a sticker sheet, looks like, with just a whole bunch of Rebel action stuff on there as well, with the high C batteries. That is a pretty cool thing. The sticker sheet seems a little bit flimsy, a little bit thin, but that's still cool and all. I still like these sticker sheets. So to recap, we have our sticker sheet. We had these little contest things. We had this other little Rebel sticker sheet. We had the free battery pad from Rotor Riot. We had the high C LiPo pack. We had a t-shirt, we had a hat, and we had 3 sets of props. Now I'm gonna say that a lot of people may not like this because it's got a lot of swaggy stuff in here, and the swaggy stuff people don't care about, and they're gonna be like, oh, there's only a LiPo in there and some props and it's a piece of crap. But let's run some numbers first before we skip. Let me slow down. Let's put it together. Let's figure out what's going on. Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So let's get started right away. Here's your cost analysis for this November box for Quad Box. Now, we'll go through these line by line, and obviously some are flagged in a color there, and we'll get to those when we get to those. So first off, we have these HQ props, and after doing a tiny bit of research, basically just looking it up. So the reason why they have this moniker R42 is this is sort of like a race version of their 5141 prop. The idea is basically it's a stiffer prop, making it a faster prop because the blades don't deflect as much when you're flying it. My guess, again, just totally off the cuff, but my guess is being a stiffer, faster prop means also when you have a crash, it'll probably be a little bit more detrimental to the prop, whether it be cracking, breaking, whatever. Usually the less flexible something is, the more it tends to break versus flex. So my guess is that they're faster, but they're more damage prone, I guess. I don't know, but that's why it has an R42 versus just calling them an HQ 5141 prop. So that's a pretty cool thing to try out and fly. Before we get into the rest of these items, let me first preface this by saying when I got that email regarding that this was going to be a Rebel takeover box and there was going to be a lot of Rebel stuff in there, I obviously did my due diligence and hopped on the, the Rebel website to check it out and see what kind of stuff they had. Not that I wanted a spoiler, but just so that I could get a, guess of what types of stuff I could potentially get. And immediately after looking at their website, a couple things stood out at me. One, their logo, very similar to the Supreme logo. And if you're unfamiliar, there's a Supreme company that they're basically like a clothing company catering to like skaters and stuff. They've been around forever. And the logos look very, very, very similar. So that being said, I was like, okay, that kind of makes me feel like maybe they're trying to go that same sort of route, becoming more of like a brand with like swag slash, you know, clothing type stuff. On their website, they offered really 4 categories of stuff: a whole bunch of 3D printed parts, a bunch of swag, hats and t-shirts type stuff, some motors, and some LiPo batteries. So in my mind, I already said we're going to get some swag and we're going to get a LiPo pack. That's what I guessed, and I'm completely accurate in that guesstimate. So let's talk about these items and let you know my take on this, because I know some of you are not happy, some of you may be happy, I don't know, and I'll give you my thoughts. First off, let's talk about this hat. So the Rebel hat, I looked on their website and they sell this hat for, what does it sell for? For $22.99, they sell this hat for. For a comparison, because remember we had an issue, at least I had an issue, with those booster motors that were in the FPV crate where there's nothing to compare them to. They're just saying, here's the price, take it or leave it. So that's what I had to put on my cost analysis. Well, here, we do have a comparison. We have this hat, the Brain FPV hat. This is actually from the Drone Drop special edition. I don't remember what month it was, but we got this Brain FPV hat. So they're very similar hats. They both have like a 3D stitched emblem that's like, you know, protruding off the hat. They both are, you know, gray. They both, like, this one the brim has this design on it, but this one has this like silky inside. Like, it feels like silk. I know it's not silk, but it feels like silk. So it has screen printing on the inside. This is just kind of raw material. But ultimately, these are about the same quality hat, I would say. This one right now, you can go on to Get FPV's website, which is not affiliated with Quadbox and is affiliated with FPV Crate. You can buy this hat for $21.99. This one is listed as $22.99. So for $1 more, I feel like they're about the same, but I do like how this one has the finished on the inside and it's just a little bit softer, and it, you know, maybe it's a little extra touch because yeah, this one does have the printing on the brim, but this has the stitching on the brim. So I'd say those cancel each other out. So for an extra $1, I would say these are about the same quality, and that justifies the price of this one being on their website. So I will say I stand behind the $22.99 value of this hat. Opposite that, we have the little Hi-C LiPo packs that they've included. And if you go on their website, they don't have, I got the Ghost Branch Guava, but that they don't have a Ghost Branch Guava shown, but they do have a 1350 4S pack available. And when you look at the price, it's like $30.99. To me, that seemed rather expensive for a 1350 4S pack. So I went to my go-to packs, which is Tattu, and which is also kind of, I think, considered more of a premium, more expensive pack, and looked up a comparable pack. The comparable pack to this, they have 2 of them. They have a 1300 mAh 4S pack that's 95C. It's part of their R-Line series, and that's for $23.99, I believe. And they also have their 120C version of it. It's their R-Line version 3. Has the same 1300 mAh 4S pack, and it's $28.99. So they're saying their pack is $2 better than what I, at least personally, I consider to be a premium brand and a known performing brand. I tend to disagree, especially since Tattu posts on their packs their discharge rate, the C rating. This just says high C, high discharge. So they don't even quantify what the discharge rate is on their pack. So that's where this starts to, like, the numbers are going to be changing here, and that's why it's flagged. In a moment, I'm going to show you my altered values. For the purposes of doing the cost analysis, this is, if you want to buy this pack, this is what this pack costs, and that's what they're saying their pack costs. So for the exact same reasons on FPV Crate that I listed the price of the booster motors, because that's what FPV Crate said their booster motors are worth, I'm going to continue following that same trait, but I will show you my kind of like altered, but for quantifying, I'm going to stick with the numbers I find, because you can't argue those numbers. If you want this battery, that's what it costs. So there's no opinion involved, therefore it can't be really argued. Moving on to the t-shirt. So again, looking on their site, they have a whole bunch of t-shirts, but they don't have this shirt. They have other shirts similar to that with bigger graphics. They have similar shirts with one color graphics, similar shirts with color graphics, but they kind of varied in price. And I couldn't really find a rhyme or reason why those shirts were, some of them were $12, some of them were $20, some of them were like $17, $18. Now, typically for a t-shirt, in a quad box, I just generically call them $17.99. However, I said in this case, since I can't find this exact shirt, I usually fall back on averaging. That's what I usually do. So when I went onto their website, I took an average of every single t-shirt they have on their website. A lot of them were 12, some of them were 20, and a couple of them kind of fell in the middle. And that's what I ended up with as a price, which is less than my normal $17.99 that I would quote a normal, FPV related t-shirt. So that's kind of interesting that it ends up being cheaper, but I'm going to go with it because I'm not putting my opinion on this. I'm just going by the numbers. And lastly, we have the Rotor Riot battery pad. Now, it's not a foam rubber. I originally, when I first looked at it, I thought it was like a foam rubber, but it's actually like a rubber. Like it feels like, if you can imagine Grip, but without the stickiness. It's just kind of like a silicone pad, I guess, or rubber. I don't know the material makeup, but it has that type of a feel to it. Non-sticky. It's grippy, just not like sticky like a sticker like the Grip is. And I couldn't find this product anywhere, but I did find a replacement battery pad for the Rotor Riot Flow frame. And it's a die-cut rubber battery pad, but it looks like it's about twice as big as this pad is. It retails, I think it was like $6.99 or something. So I figured this is about half the size. Let's take about half the price. So that's where that price came from, because I couldn't find this exact item. Now, looking down at the bottom, you can see we are, if you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thank you for checking me out. But you know that when it comes to these mystery boxes, in my mind, I say to myself, I'm willing to sacrifice choice and have someone else choose for me what products I get, as long as the stuff I get has about a $20 value on it. I feel like that's a good trade-off. So that this way, $20 extra value, but you choose, not me, I'm happy with that. And as long as I get $20 extra value, that makes me really happy. More than that, awesome. Less than that, I start getting grumpy. And here you can see, by going off the numbers that I just explained, we come out to be at $28 worth of value, which I think is great. And I think where the problem that a lot of people may have in this box is they're not into swag. They're not into apparel. They're not into brands. They're not into hats and shirts and all that stuff. So for them, they're going to look at this and go, oh, it's a LiPo pack and it's a couple sets of props. And they're going to go, that's a bunch of junk or whatever. And you're completely entitled to that as an opinion. But personally, I love getting hats. I mean, I wear these hats all the time. I wear the shirts all the time. If you bump into me in public, you're probably gonna see me wearing something of this nature, because I enjoy wearing this stuff. Because let's face it, the FPV community is quite a small niche area. There's not many people out there. So to bump into someone and talk to someone and form a conversation with someone that actually flies FPV just randomly in public, just because you're wearing a shirt or a hat, I think is a pretty cool thing, because the likelihood is pretty slim to begin with. And it's cool to find some new buddies in your local area to fly with. So that's why I enjoy having the swag, and it's also good for when I shoot these videos. So let's go with what I'm going to be calling the Tronage values. And now you see values that I've just kind of pulled out of my butt, put up there to show you kind of how I feel about this. Now, granted, these numbers will not be used for totaling or anything. This is just strictly my opinion. So what changed was the LiPo pack. So what I decided was, Tattu has what they call their Fun Fly series, which is sort of their lesser quality, non-R-line type packs. And they have a 1300 4S Fun Fly pack, and it's $18.99. I said, you know what? I'll bet you this probably performs as good as their Fun Fly pack, because, why not? I haven't flown it and stuff, but I don't hear people sitting here talking about the Rebel LiPos being like they're so amazing and awesome. And if I'm wrong, please comment down below. Tell me your experiences with Rebel packs, if they're amazing, if they're awesome, if they're super premium, better than Tattu brand, or if they're just sort of like your average, you know, fun, kick around kind of pack. That's kind of how I took it, because when I hear about premium brands, I don't hear about Rebel being part of those premium brand lists. That being said, I said it's probably worth about what the Funfly pack would be. Cool deal? Cool deal. Next was the t-shirt. As I said, by doing my normal formula, if I can't really find something, I just kind of average what I can find, and I ended up with a number lower than my $17.99 normal value for a t-shirt. And I still think this shirt is probably, I'm like tangling it all up here, but I feel this t-shirt is worth about $17.99. So I'm going to label it, in my opinion, as a $17.99 shirt. And lastly, the Rotor Riot battery pad. Obviously, they're saying it's worth half of the Rotor Riot Flow battery pad. It's sort of like, it's giving it a little much, I think, because I feel it's a little less than that. Because, put it this way, I would much rather get a battery pad as a little extra than I would a battery strap. I'm looking at you, Drone Drop, 3 times with that stupid Quad Questions battery strap. And here's the other thing. The little note attached to it. Let's be frank and real. The fact that they're acknowledging, hey, we're a little bit late with this, and here's a little something extra. So the fact that they even took the time, they didn't have to. They didn't have to say, hey, you know what, we're late with this. Let's throw a little extra something in there. No, it's showing to me, at least, they're taking responsibility and not making excuses for anything. Hey, we're late. Here's a little something extra. Have a good day. And to me, that's respectable. So I figured, just like kind of like a battery strap, it's like $1.99 kind of a thing. You know, whatever. So be it. That being said, now, if you look down there, with my Tronage value opinion, we're still at about $22 of value in this box. Now, again, if you're not into hats and t-shirts, then your mileage may vary. Personally, I love that kind of stuff. So that's, you know, I'll be honest with you. Part of why I wanted to subscribe to Quadbox back in 2018 was because they offered a shirt. And when I started doing this YouTube channel, I said, hey, I probably should start trying to look a little bit more professional wearing FPV related shirts, so that's an easy way to get a whole bunch of random shirts. So I love getting the apparel. That's like one of my things I love. And when I get a little, you know, Drone Drop or FPV crate, when they sneak something in, like this Drone Drop, this Brain FPV hat, this came from Drone Drop. Getting a piece of apparel from one that doesn't necessarily always give you a piece of apparel was like, oh, cool, sweet. Or when we get like the Ethics beanies and things like that from, long story short, I like getting the apparel. So for me, it has the value of what it is. But if you're not into apparel, what you got here is a LiPo battery, because the props are kind of like a gimme. You always expect those. And the battery pad, if you're not into the apparel, you probably don't care about this battery pad. So you're going, okay, you gave me some props, you gave me a battery. This is a bunch of, but you're entitled to your opinion just as much as I'm entitled to my opinion. But what we cannot argue is the value of the products that are here in front of me, and those values come from the internet. And you know what they say about the internet, it's always true. No, it's not, but you get what I'm trying to say. So we'll go back to the original values here, and you see we're back at our $28 mark, which I think is a great value, especially if you're into the swag type stuff. And if you're a Rebel fan, even better, because now you can really rock that Rebel logo. Now, with all of that said, remember, this is the final of the 3 to get their box in for November, which means it's comparison time. So here is your comparison between all 3 boxes. If you're new around here, let me give you a little bit of a review of what's going on here, because there seemed to have been a little bit of confusion in previous videos. All I'm looking for on this chart is the value over the cost of the box. So you take all the stuff, you take away the cost of shipping it, you take away the cost of how much the box costs to buy, and what's left over, that's what I'm adding up and looking at here. So it doesn't, that's what I'm worried about. Not so much the value total of the box, I'm worried about the value over what I paid. So this is basically like the free money. okay? So going through this, that first column down there, that column is what happened in 2018. It won't ever change because we're not in 2018 anymore. I started subscribing to Drone Drop and Quadbox both in February of 2018. So from February until December of 2018, that's what happened. Green means who was in the lead at that time. Since Quadbox was in the lead for 2018, that's why they have the green box. The second column is 2019, the year we're in right now, and that's going to be our year to date. And again, whoever has the green is who's in the lead. So currently it's Quadbox in the lead. However, one thing I felt was a little bit unfair was that FPV Crate joined into the race in July. So to compare all of those three boxes when Drone Drop and Quadbox had a bunch of months head start, I felt wasn't really fair to FPV Crate. And I wanted to keep, you know, transparent with all my numbers. So that third column is just taking out from July to year to date for 2019 so that we can see for when FPV Crate launched in July, how is everybody doing? And you can see FPV Crate is on top. Not by much. Quadbox is pulling up, you know, right behind them, neck and neck. Drone Drop, man, if you missed it, right up there, that's the Drone Drop review for the November box. Bad news, and they're falling behind. So here you can see where everyone stands as of now. And mind you, this is all the non-opinionated values. So this includes the retail price of booster motors for FPV Crate. This includes the retail price of the LiPo pack for the Quadbox. It's not my opinions, it's just the prices that are listed if you wanted to buy these products. So looking at this now, you can see FPV Crate and Quadbox are a full sprint in the lead, trying to see who's going to come out on top in 2019. I don't know who it's going to be, but I know December is going to be a big month because Drone Drop's got a lot of ways to catch up. Are they going to be able to put out enough value to even be in the running? As I mentioned in another video, December's going to be kind of a decision time. You know, I can't be sitting here doing all these boxes and wasting my time with a box that keeps wasting my time. You know, that's 2 months in a row that Drone Drop left me flat. It's not leaving a good taste in my mouth, and if December being a holiday month, it better be amazing. Quadbox and FPV Crate, well, FPV Crate hasn't been around much, so maybe they're going to be doing something awesome. I know last year Quadbox had a freaking insane killer box with blaster motors that was just ridiculous for the December box. Are they going to do that this year? I don't know. I'm not privy to any kind of information like that, but would be nice. I can hope, fingers crossed. And, you know, so we got one more month, December. And then 2019 is shut down. We have decision time to make. Who's going to be gracing the presence of the Tronage channel? As well, what's the future hold? I don't know. But as always, my name's Tronage. Fly strong.